Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, The Ebony Experience. It has been a few months. A lot has happened in a few months, and if you are still here, thank you. Your presence is a gift. Your presence is a present. Thank you so much for just being on this journey with me. So I think the last time that I was here, I updated y'all on my background, including my previous degree programs, as well as my current job, which is no longer my current job. And I mentioned an upcoming research position, which I'm in and I'm loving. I'm fully remote and I'm the research coordinator for a lab that I very, very much love. And if you Google my name, you'll find all the things, but I always give a disclaimer below that anything that I share here does not represent the views of any employers, past or current. I'm no longer in my apprenticeship, the position that I had when I last updated y'all, and there's no love lofts or anything like that. I'm recognizing in this season, my word for 2022 all year has been alignment. And so I believe if things aren't currently in alignment, it'll just throw everything else out of whack. So I am moving and grooving with where I am supposed to be and where I believe I'm supposed to be. And like I said, I also introduced, I think I said previously, that I am a Christian. I am a person of faith, big person of faith. It's at the center of my life and every decision I make regarding opportunities, especially regarding alignment, and my big word for 2022. I think I did one of those look in the crossword, the first few words that pop up, and I believe one of the words was alignment. So I thought that was funny that it's going into 2023. So yeah, alignment. Y'all, I keep doing this with my hands, got my New Year's Eve nails on. Look at those nails, y'all. Okay, I'm really loving it right now. And it's random. I hate to say it, but TikTok made me do it. Some red nail theory, so just all the sexy for me and my red nails. So I'll let y'all know how that goes. So it's be sexy, boss moves, major moves, whatever. So this is how we're entering into 2023. But anyway, on this experience with me, maybe I should add beauty stuff to this channel. I don't know, but I figure I'm mostly here to talk about public health and nursing, policy and advocacy, all things, microbiology and infectious diseases. That's kind of where I'm living, and I'm loving it right now. So like I said, I did mention my research position to update y'all on that. I did mean to show y'all my favorite planner that I just bought another one. This is the planner I've had the longest. I've tried Day Designer, Whitney English. Who else have I tried? I think I tried the Christian Planner. Several, y'all. I'm big type A planner. I swear I always say I was a certified professional organizer, CPO, in my former life. And I always joke that I would do that as like on the side or something later on in life, because I really love like my 600-pound life and hoarders, and I love organizing too. So I was like, ooh, this would be a great way to blend health and all that. But if you stick with me long enough, maybe that'll be further down the line on the Ebony experience journey. I will say, I want to say it was Nurse YouTube that got me to get this planner. So thank all of you on Nurse YouTube who posted videos and encouraged me to post my own videos, because no matter how many are on a topic, I would keep searching, keep watching, keep listening to different people's opinions. There's 8 billion people on this planet, and everybody has different experiences. So this is the Ebony experience. And again, thank you for being here. But Erin Condren, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, Erin Condren, EC, Erin Condren online, or erincondren.com, whatever. The academic planner is my favorite planner. It is the best planner I've ever used, and I think the longest I consistently used a planner. And I bought mine, I want to say 3 weeks ago, so I could make sure it got here by the time I started, and I think it came a few days later after I ordered it, definitely before Christmas. And so I'll start using that on Monday. The first is on Sunday, but I won't be doing work on Sunday. So I'm really excited about all the things coming up in the new year. I think I mentioned to y'all, like I said, my previous degrees, my work, I already went into that. So where I'm at right now in this moment on my nursing journey, and it's definitely challenging. I'm a little congested, y'all, so, you know, doing all the T's, the elderberry echinacea, everything to clear up whatever. It is some Arctic vortex cold is coming through the United States, if that's where you are. If you're in another country, definitely welcome. Thank you for following me. And speaking of countries, I'm updating y'all on where I'm currently at in my journey. And I was gonna say that I really appreciate another YouTuber. I don't know if I follow her, if I just came upon her video. She mentioned that she hadn't posted for 6 months. And I was like, I feel good. I haven't posted, I think, since September or October, and I thought that was too long. I was like, my channel's gonna fall to the wayside. No one's gonna listen. No one's gonna be here. But I know there's somebody or some people assigned to my voice right now in this season. And I just thought it'd also be a great idea to chronicle my journey, because I didn't do a good job of that in my previous degree programs, whether it was undergrad, this wasn't what it is right now. But definitely grad school, 2012, 2014, doing my master's in public health, my MPH, and then during my PhD program, 2016 to 2020, you know, we kind of are still in the midst of an ongoing pandemic, and we also have flu and RSV, so kind of triple pandemic, those of us that are in public health, microbiology, and infectious diseases. And so, yeah, that whoever posted that video, if I go back and figure out who you are, I will definitely leave a comment to say thank you, because this gave me the encouragement to keep going with this channel. So I was gonna say, speaking of countries, I think I may have mentioned to y'all before that I'm studying abroad. So I am doing, I think it's like global nursing, or like international nursing and healthcare, or something like that. Maybe it's special topics in international nursing and healthcare. I don't know the official course name, but I think I'm the only Master's of Science in Nursing student going. I think there's a few other undergrads. I don't know how many total are going. But this was a previous course before the pandemic started in 2020. They used to go every year. So I'm really excited. I'm going to the Netherlands, and I believe in Holland University is hosting us. And I believe it's like a applied science type university there. I believe it's in Amsterdam. So I have to double check on all that. But I am going to do nursing in the Netherlands. I plan to vlog every day while I'm over there, all the different eats and the different things there. So we will, I'm primarily plant-based. Those of you, I don't do dairy at all. I have an allergy, but I just, like, as a mama who milked for babies, I can't, I won't go into that right now. But I will be vlogging nursing in the Netherlands in spring, in March. So I'll be in the Netherlands in March. I just found out on, I want to say Christmas Eve, that my abstract has been accepted by the International Congress of Nursing, ICN. So I will be presenting my research on nursing practice in Montreal this summer, 2023. So that's in July. So I will be in that country, and I am traveling to the Law and Society Conference in Puerto Rico the first week in June. And so that's actually to support my spouse's research, but they do have a law and society like health section. And so I don't think I saw anything about nursing in it, but y'all know my background's primarily in policy and advocacy. And fun fact, I used to be a member of the ABA health law section when I thought I wanted to do an MPH JD. Another fun fact, I don't know if I told y'all before, but I took the LSAT and I got into law school, and I was gonna do an MPH JD, but a story for another time. If people want to ask me about LSAT, which I can't answer any questions anyway, because this was 10 plus years ago, exams are changing. I think even the NCLEX is changing as I'm in this nursing program. And I'll be taking the NCLEX next year. So I'll chronicle that journey later for y'all. But we do use ATI for people that may be curious. In our program, we started using ATI my first semester in fundamentals of nursing practice and health assessment. So And I believe my program in my university has like a top NCLEX pass rate in the country, and some of the top graduate degree programs in nursing, as well as online programs. And so my program's hybrid. I think I may have said that before. But yeah, so I think I mentioned the countries I'm traveling to coming up, and all the fun vlogging I'll be able to do for y'all, the food, the language, the Dutch. I don't know a lick of Dutch, not even one word yet. Our professor did tell us to buy a book called, I think, oh gosh, I can't think of the title of the book about the Dutch people, but something about the Dutch, or fun things about the Dutch. I don't know, something like that. But they do have a top healthcare system. Typically when we study health, I've studied comparative health policy before, and I did a global health diplomacy fellowship, which I actually went to Tanzania. Even though originally, I think I told y'all, previous pandemic, Ebola, those of you that remember, I was gonna go to Cote d'Ivoire, but ended up getting sent to Tanzania instead to study with their CDC there, because I was in the CDC Lab Cap program, which is short for laboratory capacity. So I got to work with microbiologists and laboratory technicians to build up their laboratory capacity to investigate and determine infectious diseases and outbreaks and that kind of thing. But I was saying the Netherlands, when I think of comparative politics, we always typically look at OECD countries. And so that includes like the Netherlands and Switzerland, Finland, France, Germany, I believe Mexico, Australia, Japan, of course the US, Canada. So we look at kind of those countries, and there's not a lot of data on Latin American or African countries, which is kind of, sus, but we're just gonna leave it at that for now. Because it's not kind of sus, kind of intentional. And again, these are considered like organizations, economic development, like countries with a certain GDP. And what we know, just fun health policy factoid, a country's economic system and their political system are the two most foremost indicators of a nation's health. So that's how I got into health policy and healthcare and all that jazz. So these are very important metrics to track. And so these organizations track things like life expectancy, maternal mortality. We look at infant mortality. We look at, I believe they added maybe a measure for obesity. I'm not sure. And then we also look at like the top causes of death, things like cardiovascular incidents and hypertension, like stroke, I think diabetes, things like that. Tuberculosis, I'm learning also, is still a huge thing worldwide in terms of infectious diseases. TB is airborne. It's why, to maintain my clinical practice, that's something I've updated since I last talked to y'all. I believe I got tested in November. So something we have to do every year, annually, to maintain our current clinical license, because we are considered student nurses. We are still practicing. And so you have to get the, skin. It's very superficial, basically, tuberculin test. So it's simple, little pocket proof on your skin. I did do video of that, but I don't think I posted it because I wanted to post about maintaining my clinical practice. But anyway, that's one of the things that we had to do, was get an annual TB test. We are required to get an annual influenza immunization, and I believe everyone still, of course, has to be updated on like hepatitis and your typical vaccinations. We do require COVID vaccination as well, or if you have religious or medical exemption, those do apply. And I believe that's state specific, just like state licensing determines scope of nursing practice. So I'm in South Carolina. I think I told y'all that before. So we do have religious and medical exemptions here in South Carolina. So check your state for those requirements. So my courses that I'm taking this semester are statistical research methods in nursing, which I imagine are very close to econometrics and public health. So it's a lot of macroeconomics. And so my PhD, I told y'all before, is health services research. And so basically, we learn to estimate mathematical models using economic theory to measure like healthcare access, costs, and utilization. And my dissertation research, I told y'all, was on mental health care utilization. And so my published work was focused on estimating models for mental health care utilization using psychological distress and subjective need measures. And so I did that we use large healthcare data sets. And so I used the California Health Interview Survey, CHIS. So it's modeled after the National Health Interview Survey. So these are large healthcare data sets that we typically use in HSR. Other ones are like the Medical Expenditure Panel Survey, MEPS, which is a subset of NHIS, and BERFIS. It's one I used during my postdoctoral fellowship, and it's something I've been using recently in upcoming work that I'll be publishing that just got accepted to be presented in February at the Big Data Health Science Conference. I'm really excited about that. Something I'm also experimenting with is presenting the same research at multiple conferences to see how that goes. Maybe I'm just gonna do 2. I think the same research at 2 is good enough to field it to different audiences and disciplines to get like different feedback. And I was inspired by this approach from my academic spouse. We presented research we were interested in at the time at a like law and rurality conference when I was doing my postdoctoral fellowship research in rural and minoritized health. And that inspired me. I was like, and I saw people talk about it on academic Twitter. If you're not there, I'm Ebony T PhD on Twitter and Instagram. And people talked about presenting at multiple conferences. And some people said no, but I think the majority said, yeah, like, why not? Like, you know, especially if it's not published yet and it's still working on the idea. I mean, typically in my discipline, which has been public health and HSR, you typically have a completed project. Academy Health, which is our organization for health service researchers, I don't believe I think they have a checkbox. I just submitted an abstract, which I haven't heard back yet. I think they have a checkbox for whether or not it's complete. I might be mistaken, so don't quote me on that. Whereas law, they kind of, you know, my spouse is in law, they kind of workshop ideas. They have workshop. And I'm like, this is how conferences should be viewed. It's a meeting among my peers, and I should be able to workshop this topic, even if it's not fully complete yet or completed research study. So I have completed research with BERFIS, like I just said, the Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System survey, and it lets us examine behavioral related risk factors related to health outcomes, for lack of a better word. And it's been like one of the largest like continuous surveys in the world. It's been decades now, and I think they sample about over 200,000 people every year. So it's a pretty good representative sample of the US. I'm waiting personally to be sampled in one of these national surveys. So many of them, some of them sample households, and they get data on children living there, and there's like some children-based surveys and things like that. But I'm like, I've been a child. I'm like, I've been past 18 for a while now, you know, sample me. So I'm waiting. And I'm sure other researchers can attest that we feel very, very much, beholden or like responsible for responding to surveys when we get them. So I'm presenting that research at a conference in February. I already mentioned Academy Health that I applied. I'll be attending anyway, even if I don't, my research doesn't get accepted. I did get selected as an emerging diversity leader in EDL in the Academy Health interest group for like nursing research, like related issues. So I'm really excited about that. I think they do sponsor us to attend, maybe not the full fare of like registration and like lodging and travel, but I think some of it. So I'm excited about that. So even if it's registration, it'll be fine because it's expensive and it's in Seattle this year. So, but I am looking forward to attending that. I believe the paper that I'm workshopping at the Big Data Health Conference at USC in February, I think I will take it to, I'm considering submitting it to the American Society for Microbiology. So that'll be coming up. That's in Houston, I believe, in June. So I'm excited about that. I don't think there's a student chapter in South Carolina, and I feel very sad about that. There's not a lot of interest, and I think there's 2 microbiologists on campus. I believe one of them is like Dumbledore's age, and the other one is a little bit older than me and has expressed interest in wanting to get some interest and involved into a student chapter. So I've been thinking about that, maybe pursuing that with that professor. I took his infectious disease ecology course in the fall, loved it, got a 98. Yeah, I aced that thing. It was amazing, and it kind of re-sparked my interest in microbiology and infectious diseases. And so I think I want to work with him on getting more people interested in microbiology and infectious diseases on campus by starting that student chapter here in South Carolina. So yeah, so I think I'm going to try that new idea of presenting research. And so the paper that I'm presenting actually in Montreal, I would like to present in Seattle at Academy Health also, because I'll get a perspective from, you know, nurses who are also health services researchers and have their doctorates like me. And then at ICN, it's the International Congress of Nurses. So it'll just be purely nurses, I think, various backgrounds. And so I think this is what I mean when getting different feedback from different disciplines. And I'm not sure yet about other ideas. I think I want to do a systematic review research paper this year related to health literacy and scientific communication regarding the safety and efficacy of vaccinations. So I'm considering doing that with another clinician scientist. Y'all know that's why you're here. I'm an aspiring clinician scientist. I'm in nursing, already got the PhD. And I have a colleague, a dear friend now, who is the founder actually of an organization. Maybe I'll have her on here for an episode. And so she's a physician. And so she also has her PhD. And so I think it's going to be a fantastic paper. So I may do that at APHA this year in November. And that meeting is in Atlanta. I think the last meeting I didn't mention yet that could be coming up is IDSA. And so I got invited to join IDSA, the Infectious Disease Society of America, as an associate member. So when I'm done with my training, then I actually have to apply for formal membership. So see when we get there for that. So I went off on a tangent because I started talking about my coursework this semester, spring 2023, which will be statistical research and nursing methods or something. And then I'm also retaking pathophysiology and pharmacology, or pharmaceutical therapies in nursing or something like that. And so, and in addition, I told you all my study abroad course, which is like special topics in international nursing and healthcare, something like that. So I think 4 classes total. My statistics class is 6 weeks and it's fully online. I'm not really worried about that. I just told y'all what my PhD is in. I published in statistical methodology already. So, you know, read my paper, you know, cite it.